This is the 2020 Street Triple RS, the latest version of Triumph's very popular middleweight Sport Naked. In other words, it's designed for people who want a mid-range sports bike that isn't covered in all the usual sporting bodywork. And Triumph have updated this 2020 model with a load of extras, including new bodywork, more power, and some fancy new gizmos. Let's take it for a spin. But hold up, before we go any further, who wants to win an electric car? You? Good, because Autotrader are giving away a free electric car every single month, and it won't cost you a penny. Who wants to win one of these, a Tesla Model 3? You? Good, you're in the right place. I don't know, maybe a Ford Mustang Mach-E? You as well? Congratulations, you're on the right channel. Yes, I think we have gone a little bit nuts. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, then head over to the website to enter. All the details are down below. On with the show. Okay, so they haven't actually gone too crazy with the updates on this bike, but there are some differences. The main differences are the changes to the engine, the gearbox, and to the exhaust, all of which now have been tweaked, primarily I would say to make this bike Euro 5 compliant. It still uses a 765cc inline triple, which is derived from the Triumph Daytona. It still makes around 123 horsepower at 11,700 RPM. But they've bumped up the torque. You now get a whole 9% more mid-range torque and 9% more mid-range power. And it feels lovely and smooth and strong in the mid-rev, which is just perfect for town riding or when you're pulling out of low-speed corners. Really strong stuff. They've also given it a new quick shifter, and it feels really sharp. When you're downshifting, you don't have to knacker your left hand by pulling the clutch. You just kick down or kick up, and it shifts really smoothly. Okay, the new exhaust, it has a twin cat system, 2 catalytic converters, but it must be breathing pretty nicely if you've got such a decent jump in torque and in power in the mid-range, and it actually sounds really nice as well. I rode the previous generation bike and I like that a lot, but it doesn't take too long to feel the improvements here. Straight away you can feel it's better. It's just a bit of a shame really that it kind of just looks so similar to the previous one. Truth be told, you'd have to be a bit of a Triumph expert to be able to tell the difference between this bike and the model that came before it. But there are some very obvious changes, including some new headlights with some more prominent DRLs, some slightly tweaked bodywork, including this section just here, and a new belly pan, as well as a slightly tweaked tail section. Apart from that, it looks very much like a Street Triple RS. In other words, quite a nice looking sports bike with a head of a praying mantis. In terms of the basic design, well, it's a naked in the truest sense of the word, really. In other words, there is very little protection from the elements. There is apparently an optional fly screen, which allegedly will deflect some wind over you, but don't expect miracles. If you ride this bike in the wind and in the rain, you're gonna feel all of that. There is one fairly big update though, probably my favorite bit, and that's the dashboard. They use pretty much the same 5-inch screen as before. This one's adjustable, so you can tilt it up and down to adjust it to your preference. And I love the way that it says good morning or good afternoon when you turn it on first thing. But it's very comfortable, and the user interface is, I think, slightly more contemporary than the one that came before it. It can take a little while to get used to, but once you do, it's a pretty nice system to use. And the whole thing is controlled using a thumbstick on the left handlebar. There's also the option of a Bluetooth module. Now, if you buy this, and it's a little bit extra, it will allow you to control various features that you'd normally get on your mobile phone. So you download the app on your phone, and then on the screen, you can see things like text messages, incoming phone calls, music adjustments, and you can even see turn-by-turn navigation. Plus, you can also connect a GoPro wirelessly to the display and control that while you're on the move.
For anyone who hasn't ridden the previous Street Triple RS or just wants to know how the changes to this new bike translate to the riding experience, I'll try and break it down for you. It actually feels like quite a small bike. If you're a larger person, you might look a bit ridiculous on it or feel slightly conspicuous, but it's actually really easy to ride, even at low speed. The engine is definitely the star of the show. It isn't overwhelmingly powerful, but it's still got plenty of grunt, especially from around 4,000 RPM onwards. It's got loads of character, and before you know it, you can be doing some quite silly speeds. One thing I do notice is that it's quite easy to hit the red line in this bike, which can be a bit embarrassing when you do it by accident. The dash doesn't clearly show you where to shift up, but after a while you do get used to it. The engine modes in this are, as you might expect, all of them offer full power except rain mode, which takes you down to 98 horsepower, so it's a bit more manageable in the damp. The rest of them give you maximum grunt, but each one adjusts the throttle response and your ABS and your traction control slightly. The handling and the balance of this bike is lovely as well. It's agile, it's flickable, but still quite sure-footed. Once you pick your line and you start your corner, it stays really faithful to that line. It's very sharp, very predictable. The dampers are a bit on the firm side, so the ride isn't super comfortable, as you might expect, but the damping is good, so big hits get cushioned out quite nicely. But you also get fully adjustable Showa BPF forks and Öhlins dampers, so you can play around with the settings if you want to. The brakes are good as well. Brembo M50 monoblocks, they stop the bike properly. Great bike when you first pull the lever, and then it's consistent and it's strong. It's all about that combination of engine and handling for me, though. It loves to rev, but you don't need to spank it. There's plenty of accessible grunt there. It feels like it's doing exactly what you want it to. This is a bike that delivers really, really accessible fun.
One of the best things about it all is that you don't have to spend the earth for what is such a fun bike. £10,500 buys you the Street Triple RS, and you can kit it out with options as desired, including heated grips for just over £200, the My Triumph connectivity module for the same price, and even a few bling extras like scrolling indicators for just over £100.
But of course, a bike like this is all about the ride. You jump on, you fire it up, you head for a B-road or a track day, and it just rewards you. It's a lovely, lovely thing, the RS Street Triple. Have a go if you get the chance.